Let me turn on. Okay, Sue. Start your video and unmute yourself. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, how are you?
The fear barrier is kicking in. No, good, good.
Yep,
Glad to be here. Happy to share, answer questions if people want to put stuff in chat.
yep.
Honesty, integrity. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, cool. Um, I stopped recording, but I don't think I need to record, but I'll just put it on. Say that.
Yeah,
We've
it
got it.
worked. The
Yeah,
Zoom won't come back on, Paul.
yeah, okay. So first of all, let's talk about where you were in life, like before that first training in November 2022. What was life like for Sue Holder?
2024 it was actually.
Oh, sorry,
I
2024.
wish it
Yeah,
was
I
20.
went back a bit further.
I wish it was 2022. Things would be really different. What was life like? So just to put you in perspective, I worked in the territory for a long time, doing different jobs. My last job there was working for the government, trying to get kids to school. So very challenging, very on dealing with people all the time. However, after 10 years of that, I was going to go on long service leave. Yay, get away, move to the East Coast, take long service at half pay, travel the East Coast and see where I want to end up living. Well, my health decided, yeah, we're not going to do that, doll. I ended up with a benign brain tumor, which threw big spanner in the works. I probably started getting it in end of 2017, 2018. And by end of 2019, September, it had grown to be nearly 5 centimeters and on my brainstem. So cutting to the chase a bit closer, had surgery, radiation, all that stuff, couldn't work, was in a mountain of frustration because I couldn't drive, I couldn't work, I was falling down the stairs at the farm we were on. I was miserable and I was taking it out on literally on everyone. Um, Someone had spilled water on the floor and I'd just really lose my shite. So I wasn't in a good place. I've hurt a lot of people from, say, 2021 to uh, November 24 when I started working with you. I'd been seeing a psychiatrist and psychologist. They weren't helping too much because I was always preempting them because I've done psych training. So I kind of knew what they were going to say. So I don't know that I was getting the full value from them. So yeah, I was not a very nice person. You ask my family and some very close friends who've had to deal with my shite. I couldn't drive, um, couldn't get the pension, so I had no income because I tried to go back to work in end of 2020, so a year after the surgery, because it took me 6 months to even be able to drive a car to get my license, because they cut my skull open. You've got to wait 6 months. And I think it was about 8 months before I had the confidence to get back. After driving 1,300 Ks a week in my old job, I was too scared to drive. So, yeah, lots going on till I did your first challenge in November 24.
Yeah, so what was life like there and what made you decide to come and do this first challenge?
Um, in July 2020, I moved to Crow's Nest with one of my old childhood sweethearts, thinking that, thanks to his gossiping sister and my gossiping niece, they got us together again and we hit it off. And um, so I moved in with him and wasn't a relationship really now looking back. I was more his caretaker because he's FIFO, to a week on, week off. So I was basically trying to look after the farm, look after my own health, mental health. And I've also got Holly who has cerebral palsy as well. So she's thrown in the mix, puts a spanner in the works occasionally. And I just wasn't coping. And I was doing the old devil scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. And a friend from Catherine, Jess Pasquale Beckhouse, that I've known since she was little, I'd often see different things she'd put up from her work with you. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And then she did one of your programs, and she was looking great. And I went, I'll message her, see what she's doing, because I didn't connect the two at the time. Jess, what are you doing? And she said, oh, been working with Polly Hodden. And I went, Polly Hodden, really? How can Polly help you? Not that you couldn't, but, see, your pre-images of people are terrible.
I was a bitch. I was a bitch back then. Don't worry, I know that.
And I went, okay. So then she posted something else, and I said, okay, what's she doing? What's she doing? And we had a couple of messages, and she ended up giving me a little kick up the butt. And she goes, would you just ring Polly? Here's a number. Oh, no, she didn't give me your number. She said, I'll get Polly to ring you. When are you free? I said, look, I'm free all the time. Just let me know when she's going to ring, and I'll make sure I'm sitting outside, because the service here was dodgy then. So her big push, kick up the bun, made me ring you, or you rang me in the end. And oh my goodness, if you want honesty, go to Polly. If you can't handle the truth, mate, steer clear. It was great though, because it was the kick up the bum I needed. Polly gave me two choices basically. Either you want to stay stuck where you are being a miserable cow, or I can try and help you. She didn't profess to cure me, anything like that. Made it very clear that if I didn't do the work, nothing was ever going to change. So Polly never ever professed to be my savior. I mean, I'm part of the gurus now. She's my guru, but that's okay. So I bit the bullet, and I took on, I'd already done 2 challenges, I think, the end of Christmas one and the New Year one. And then I took on some more. So from there, it has been a challenge. I've probably tried to chase them too. Many fears. I've just like, whoa.
Yeah. So let's just go back to where you were in 2024. So like the relationship with your kids, not that good?
No, it was horrible. Yeah.
Yep. And I think you said you got 4 sisters that are...
I've got 4 older sisters, and I now don't talk to 2 of them because of my attitude. One occasionally, and it's more because of Holly, because she loves going to stay there. And then I have my other sister who I did actually nearly have a punch-up fight with her, because my rage issues were that bad. I just lost my shite.
Yeah.
But she's come back. She's understanding. I do still limit my time with them now, because I'm on a different wavelength to them. We were brought up in the world of poor bugger meat. I had a gran that my mum and my elder sisters looked after, who, now I look back, she was probably a bit of a hypochondriac and exaggerated her illnesses, but hey, mental health wasn't recognised back then. And so we grew up with the poor bugger me syndrome, and we all have it, the 4 of us, and we know it. But the thing is, I wanted to change the poor bugger me. And so 2 of them definitely don't, and they can't handle the change. Alcoholics, all of us. So you add alcohol to a person, myself, having rage issues, and they're drunk as well. So you could imagine the relationship I was having with them, which is horrible.
Yeah.
And I was taking it out on my partner at the time too. I've stopped drinking a long time ago, but I look back, he was only trying to help, but I didn't see it as that. It was the way he was presenting it didn't work.
Yeah. And so how did you get income back then?
Income. I took all my government extras, like my long service leave, holiday leave, sick leave, any type of leave I could at half pay, and dragged them out. And then, because I went back for 3 months, that gave me a few more. So it's amazing how much you can drag out if you take it at half pay. So basically, I was living on next to nothing. Yeah. The good thing was, at the time, most of that time, I was living with couch surfing with my family. I've got a huge family that did take me in when I was really, really sick before all this mental stuff really set in. Because I think it set in more when I realised I'd never go back to work.
Yeah.
Because I had this thing. I jokingly said, the day I left work, it was the start of the school holidays, September school holidays, to pop up. And with my work colleagues, and I'm going, oh yeah, I'll come back with some disability and I look like I'm drunk all the time and zigzagging, because Holly's had brain surgery. She's fine. Yeah, don't ever poke fun at things like that because it could happen. And it did. So sort of got off tangent there. Sorry, what was the question again? That's my brain too, by the way.
Well, it's just how were you getting income in 2024?
Oh, yeah. So, I just dragged out my long service. My partner at the time, he provided food, and I figured that was okay because I was caretaking. So I kept paying my house and my car and bills I had. I stopped all my subscriptions to Netflix and all those sort of subscription things that, man, you want to sit down and have a look. If you're feeling broke, have a look at your subscriptions. Have a look at the ones you aren't using.
Yeah.
I struggled initially to get the pension as well. So the first time we went, I had to be sick for more than 2 years. And that was I hadn't had the tumour removed for 2 years. But I had every doctor letter saying that I probably can't work. But they said I had to be sick for more than 2 years. So then we went back again. And there was something missing. So they cancelled that one. And I reapplied again. And one of the letters didn't state that I didn't have the capacity to work. I had 5 different specialists all say what was wrong, because none of them actually said Sue Holder cannot engage in employment. Basically, I couldn't get it. Yeah. So then I had to go back to all the doctors, get them to write that, drama. And so I finally...
How much were you earning?
Oh, how much was I earning then?
Yep. So you get your pension by that time, by the end of...
When I got my pension, well, the pension's $970 a fortnight.
Yeah.
In 2024, but it took a lot to get there. That was the other thing, the struggle to get there. Yeah. So and then in October of 2024, my ex went off to work. We sold the farm, and he went off to work. And when on the Monday the farm sold at 5:50 after I closed everything for him, he rang and said, "I'm not coming home." I went, "Oh, you're freaking kidding me. Don't be funny." Yeah, and he didn't. He took a bag of clothes, and I had 22 dogs, I think, at the time, 20 odd cows, chooks, setting up here where I live now. He just plonked all the heavy stuff around the yard. So I've been tidying all that up, and yeah, it's just literally plonked, and just had a pension, and I have to pay for everything.
Yeah.
And that, as you know, just living costs are rising and rising. It was really, really tough.
Yeah. So what were you sick and tired of?
Oh, the frustration and not being able to control my anger that come from the frustration. So I couldn't drive, which was annoying when you live 20 k's out of town on top of a hill in the middle of nowhere. I couldn't drive. I was still falling over. And it's a whole new level of that. But the main thing was I was tired of the frustration, feeling inadequate. I couldn't partake or participate or put back into society, because I've always worked, Polly. If you remember back then, we'd work, then the kids would have athletics and there'd be that, and then I'd go home and finish up notes and all stuff. So on the go 24/7, to being, sometimes if I stood up off my chair, I'd fall over. So that was a big frustration, yeah. Big frustration.
But so I want you to think about your relationship with your kids too. Like, what were you getting tired of there?
My kids have been from the get-go wonderful. Like Helena was in Canada when I had my surgery and became unwell. Um, so unwell that, yes, I did nearly die on them. All I can remember were the cats running around the ceiling and the rain falling from the roof from all the drugs. But my kids have been my pillar of strength. And I turned into this person who could not appreciate what they were doing. And lucky I have strong kids. I could have easily ruined my relationship with them. It's just like they were very strong and dealt with a lot of anger. And I took it out on them. And I should never have.
We always do it the closest to us, hey? We have
Yeah, and they still are my pillar of strength, you know, even though they don't live near me. One's an hour away, one's in Adelaide. Holly lives with me, and even though she's disabled, her strength and her caring and that, I took that for granted. I took my own disabled daughter for granted. How bad's that, you know, looking back? But I didn't realize I was doing it at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to what have you achieved since that November, that first little challenge that we did in November 2024 to now?
Oh my goodness. Talk about the fear barrier, guys. I tell you, what have I achieved? Well, I have a business. That is the big thing. Woo! I have a business. I've become healthier. So I've lost 32 kilos since February. And I wanted to lose the weight, but initially I didn't. My body, with the eating program I went on, my body started healing itself. My arthritis inflammation eased, my brain was less foggy, I could concentrate more, hence I could drive more and do more things. The non-weight loss stuff that I got out of that was huge. And I have not been, my goal, I'll tell you my goal, I'm not scared to share it. My goal was, I'm happy and grateful now that it's Christmas 2025 and I am now 85 kilos. I got there before Christmas, at the end of November. I got there at 84.6 before Christmas, and I've sort of fluctuate around there a little bit. I've maintained, which is great. So that's a big thing, but I could never squat. You know, when I was in Katherine, while I was unwell, before I knew what was happening, I try and do a squat. Oh no. And I'd go to Dr. Brummett. He'd go, just lose weight, you'll be right. I'm going, oh yeah, okay, because of my knees, I couldn't squat, the inflammation. Looking at getting knee surgery. Man, I can do about 10 now. So how good's that?
Yeah.
And when I realized I was losing weight, because I didn't jump on the scales all the time, I put my jeans on one day and thought, gee, these are loose. And I pulled them down, and I could pull them down, done up, which was really, really good. So I showed everyone, look at this. And I just family in private, I can take my pants off and I can squat. That was a big, big thing, that not having the health issues are still there, but they're minimal now. So I continue on the good stuff. I eat anything and everything, whatever I want, but I'm more mindful that things really do set your inflammation off. So that was that was great.
So then what about your relationship with your kids? Because that's a huge one, I think, especially for mums.
It is. Robert and my relationship, my boy in Adelaide, is good now, is really good now. He contacts me regular, and he visits twice a year, pitches in and helps, and he listens and all that. Helena and I are still on a rocky road. She now looks at me sometimes and goes, who are you and what have you done with my mother? Where's my old mother? Because, you know, even pre-surgery, I was a bitch sometimes, a lot. There's a few people on here that knew me prior to my surgery and go, yeah, you're a bit of a bitch sometimes, Sue. And I was, you know. Yeah, and don't doubt at some stage I could still be bitchy, but I don't want to be that person. I want to be the person that Helena goes, "Who are you and what have you done with my mother?" Um, I did lean on her too much, and working with you on your programs, I've learned to fend for myself more, which has made our relation, because she's so close, our relationship better, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
So that's
what about your business?
Oh, my business. I love my business. It started off as a joke. It was just terrible. Um, Back when the eggs, everybody was paying a fortune for eggs. I had the chooks here out the back, and I just kept jokingly say on a training or something with Polly, "Oh, I'll send you some eggs." And then I went to Cairns to one of her trainings and jokingly, because it came up again about the eggs and what we eat, and I jokingly said, "Well, I've got lots of eggs." And you or someone said, "Well, why don't you do something about it?" And I went, "Oh, okay." So this joke turned into something. And during the break, I rang my niece, and she owns a bakery, and a friend that owns a cafe in my closest town, and said, "What's the go with buying eggs?" And so they gave me some information. I remember so much support from the people that were at the training. That I remember Jimmy Cookdale and Jimmy, he sent me some videos about setting up business, which was really great. I remember that.
Oh,
So the support initially from a joke. So I left in May and I went, okay, so I started selling eggs. And then they said, "Oh, you've got chooks. Do you want to sell some chooks?" And I went, "Oh, yeah, okay, sure. Why not?" And then it just grew. So I went from a 990, 60, whatever it is, pension a fortnight, so $450 a week, to a 1,200% increase by the end of last year by selling chooks. So it sounds big, but it's even bigger still, because I started going to markets, and I made an acquaintance who could drive me, and that sort of fell through. And so, but I drive myself now. I do the markets. I come home. I sell chooks through the weeks. I still sell the eggs. I never say, "Oh," someone will say, "Have you got such and such?" And I go, "I'll have to go home and have a look." And I may not have it. And so I reach out to people that I've connected with since doing this and say, "Oh, have you got such and such? I've got someone looking for one." Yep, yep. And so I then buy and on sell. As well. So I now have an income that allows me to go and have a coffee, which I couldn't do before because the purse strings were so tight.
and go on holiday?
I can go on holiday to Adelaide and not go, oh. I did worry though, like, well, have I got enough? What's going to happen while I'm away? There was still fear in it, but I could go and know that I could survive. Whereas before it would have been, I would have went down and relied on Robert,
Yeah.
100%. So, um,
One of the things that I remember was before that Cairns event in May, when you called me and you said, "Polly, I really want to come to this, but if I come to this event, I'm so afraid that I'm going to be in a hotel room sick and not be able to make it there." And I remember saying to you, "Why the bloody hell would you want to think that, Sue?"
yeah. And
And
that's
you
what I was,
came.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I did. And I, it was a learning curve actually, to learn to listen to my body, rest up. And I made sure I had rest either side, but I got through it all and it was the best thing. And I've started since then taking on that mindset of, instead of thinking I'm sick all the time, thinking, no, I'll be good and I can do this. And yeah, so mindset's a big thing.
Yeah. One thing, so I just want everybody to know. So um, Sue's income a month was 990 something or 980, whatever it was. Now she's added $1,200 a month to that income. So it's over what, nearly over three or 2,000 sort of thing a month. So she can do things differently. I just want to, like, some people go, "Oh my God, that's not that much." But when you think about the mindset and the things that had to change for that to happen. And it's like more than double your income. Now, I just love those words. I love it when people can go, I've doubled my income or more, because not so much about the money, but what can you do with it? How much more quality is there in your life when you are not, can't even go for a coffee because the money wasn't there to then be going on holiday?
It's huge. One of the things that makes me laugh, Polly, one of the concepts I really, really struggled with, and excuse the language, but it is what she says. She goes, fuck the how. And I had the mindset of, oh, yeah, it's all right for you, Polly. You have a well-thriving business and you've got the money and, you can say that. It's easy for you, because I was set in my old paradigm, my old beliefs and all that stuff. And I was thinking of tens of thousands of dollars that I need to make. And there was a training we did, and I can't remember when it was exactly. I know I've got it written in a book. Something you said, and it dawned on me, she's not talking about thousands and tens of thousands. It dawned on me, picking up 10 cents off the ground can be part of your income coming in, because that's the 10 cents you didn't have before, hey? So it dawned on me that the money does come when you get out of that. It took me ages to get out of that. And now I have. It does. It comes. So like I came home from holiday and I lost a substantial part of my flock and my chicks that are coming up. And I came home Saturday night. Sunday I saw that, had a poor bugger me day and thinking, the world's ended. And then Monday did the training and I went, oh my goodness, here she goes. She's back in my head. And after the training, I went, no, I'm going to make some calls to the people who have helped me out with breeds I didn't have before. And they've been very generous, willingly give, graciously receive. And that's what I'm doing now. I've picked up one lot. I get another lot tomorrow and Saturday. So I picked up replacement hens, at least for the egg start, and to be able to incubate my own. But I went before the training, I was going, where am I going to get the bloody money to buy these chooks to continue? Oh, I'll just stop, give up. So you'll always have a poor bugger me moment. There will always be a hiccup, but it's how you tackle the problem, I think. And lo and behold, the money for them has turned up. So
It does.
yeah, I just couldn't believe it. And it was something I set up last year that now is giving me the income to be able to buy them. So I'll be back to cost neutral, but at least I can keep going now. So it does come. And I do. I pick up that 5 cents off the ground because it could be the start of my millions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where to from here?
So when we did our goals the other day, I've written down that I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a successful woman, having a thriving, growing business that would give me financial stability. And as you all probably saw, Polly goes, don't think so. You need to times that by 4. And I went, okay, I'll have a think about it, Polly. And as you've all learned, you don't think about it with Polly, you do. And these are the good pushes. So I wrote some notes about what I want. So I figured I'm going to triple my income by this time next year.
Mm-hmm.
Here it comes. I can tell.
Let's just halve the time. Why don't you do it by the end of financial year?
End of financial year. Okay.
Triple it. So that's what, 3,600 a month.
Yeah.
Because look, you've already created a paradigm of earning $1,200 a month now. You know how to do it. If you just go triple by the end of the year, that's just like incremental growth. And your paradigm, like, although it's a good one that you've created now, it is going to control your actions. So now if you go, right, let's halve the time, straight away, you have to move out of that paradigm and create a new one. And you have to start to think illogical, because for you, it's going to be like, that's a bit illogical. to go triple in less than 6 months or 6 months' time. You have to think, and you have to start doing things differently. If we keep doing the same thing, we're going to keep getting the same results. And, you know, although you're going to get better, it's not going to be as better as you could be. So I always say, go as big as you can handle yourself to get, because it takes no more energy to shoot here or to shoot here. Like there's a saying, hey, it takes no more energy to aim high in life than it does to settle and go for mediocre.
And
Now,
it's fun.
I know from the goal that you set in February when you came in, you're like, oh, I'm just going to release this amount of weight. And I'm like, yeah, pig's ass. Let's just go straight up to this. Why settle for that? That's how I believe I can get to. So there's straight away like an A or a B type goal. C type has to be out of your current range of thinking, so that then you will be inspired to do different actions. Sorry, you go.
No, that's fine. So actions are big. So after I wrote that goal, I did the immediate actions. I've sort of got it. No, I did the actions for the getting organized. So my actions, which I will bring forward now as well for the business, was looking at other things. So during last year, I started learning to vent sex chooks, because people always want hens. And I found an outlet for my roosters. So I was thinking, oh, maybe I will start charging people to vent sex. And so I didn't charge the lady yesterday, but I went and did some yesterday. I did 30 chooks yesterday, and she did her way and I did my way. We only disagreed, took a photo of her sheet, she recorded it all. And in 6 weeks, we'll go back and see how we go. So I'll use that as my basis. And another thing that popped up in training, which I can add in, which I've done yesterday as well, just by accident, was Polly does smack you, by the way. We were in a training and we were side chatting about one of the other ladies' sick dog, and I get a bit emotional on sick dogs, and so I've gone, what's going on? Tell me about your dog. And Polly's over here still doing her training, and she goes, what are you doing? Talk about the sick dog later. But what that made me think of was, why can't I still help people? Because that was one of my goals in May, was to work with people and their animals, because qualified vet nurse make use of my skills. So a lady contacted me on Monday and said, hey, I've got a sick hen. She needs to be put down. And I got there and I went, does she really? And she said, well, look, you take her home, put her in your little hospital, because I explained what I would do, and give her a go. And if it works, it works. If not, you can do what you need to do. So I figured that is another outlet I can offer people as well.
Can I give you something? And this goes to everybody watching this. Here's a really good exercise that you can do. Get a pen and a piece of paper, draw a circle in the middle, write the amount of money that you want, and then just keep adding ways that you can get it, because you're going to bring it in through multiple sources of income. That's what we want, because if all our income comes from one place, then if something happens to that, or something happens in the economy that does affect that, then your income's gone. So you want multiple streams. The most financially free people in the world have at least 7 sources of income. So they're not just reliant on one. So draw a circle, write the amount of money, and then just start thinking. And each day, set yourself a task to think for 5 or 10 minutes and go, okay, how can I add more to this? What else can I add to it? And before long, you'll have enough ideas in there. Some will work, some won't. You're going to fail your way to success. That's how we do it, but it will work.
And that was one written in my goal for making my money last year, is money loves me. It comes to me on a continuous basis from various sources. Also, I forgot now off the top of my head, but yeah, I had various sources in there because your old paradigm sits in, and we'd had a chat about it. So yeah.
One last thing before we go.
Yeah.
What would you say to that Sue back then, maybe in January of 2024, before you'd done anything? What would you say to her?
Oh,
What would you tell her to go and do? Like, what would you tell her to take action on? Because action is the only way we change shit, eh?
It is, yeah. I'm just trying to say it diplomatically nice. That's what I need to. One thing is, if you're going to ever stay with Polly, if you can't handle the direct truth, there is someone out there that will fit your needs. Don't ever think, oh, Polly's not my thing, I'd give up. Find someone else. But anyhow, Polly fits my needs, because I would say to myself, listen to what you've been given. You've been given an opportunity from Jess. Get off your ass and have a go. So saying it nicely is that don't give up on yourself. Believe in yourself. There are other options out there. You've got to find what fits for you and do it. So I've got a friend who's on here that's been having some mental health stuff and troubles. And I've got a young niece who's, we've got bad arthritis in our family. It's hereditary. And I've been supporting them through it. Is without the heavy push, is have a look at what else you can do. Have it in front of you, and be open about it to yourself. You've got to be honest and have integrity in yourself. Don't lie to yourself. I was lying to myself. This is my life. No, it's not. Your life is what you make it.
Yeah.
Your life is what you make it. Look, I'm off meds now. The doctors told me, just take the meds and get over it. And I sat there and cried. He said, you know, this is your life. Take your meds, go home, see you later. And I pulled my jeans up and I'm crying. Look at my knees from where I fall over, though. Life sucks. And then Helena started crying because, you know, when a doctor tells you to basically suck it up in doctor's term, it's a bit confronting. Come home, had a breakdown for 2 weeks where I didn't get out of bed and whatnot. And my own get up and go got me up. But coming through Jess, I went, there's still other options. I don't have to be this miserable bitch. I can be something else. So you can be. And look, this is my story. Everyone's story is different. We all have our own hang-ups, our own stuff to deal with. And no one's better, worse, indifferent to you. It's what you do with your information. So it's like two of my sisters. They whinge all the time, poor bugger me. I've told them, if you're going to whinge, I don't want, and do nothing about it, you're not allowed to whinge near me. If you want to whinge and you're doing something, yes, I'll help you. But if you're just going to whinge and do nothing, no, don't want to know you.
Okay, so would it be just take action and go towards it?
Just do it.
And do it, yeah.
And find a community. Just quickly, sorry, one other thing is I've grown apart from friends. I still will talk to them. They've become acquaintances. When you start changing, when you're feeling better and feeling different, you'll lose friends. But I tell you what, you'll gain some awesome people. I've met awesome people through Polly's challenges. I'm now friends with a lady overseas that I chat to quite regular. And we have a laugh and whatnot. And the other girls here in Australia, some I've reconnected with. So find your tribe. This may not be it, but there's other people like Polly out there that might be your tribe. Have a look. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. You're you.
Cool. Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And I'm happy to, if anybody wants to know more or whatever, it's not Secret Squirrel Club. I don't believe in that. No. Honesty and integrity, mate. And I'm happy to share or talk to anyone that wants to know more.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me,
Polly. Oh, you're so welcome. So welcome. Thank you.